Peace. It's been a minute. I just wanted to come on here because I haven't been on in a while. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was considering cutting my hair. But what I'm noticing is that for some reason around this time of year, people start trying to cut their hair off. Um, or comb locks out. Um, but I was knowing that it will, it's hard to explain. I really was thinking about it, cutting it, taking it out. But I was knowing that deep down I wasn't going to do that. But I did start having those thoughts. And, I started reminding myself of, as I've stated before in previous videos, that this is my seventh set of locks. I started off with not traditional, sorry, manicured locks, and moved on to freeform with the last set. I did try freeform prior, one time years ago, but I wasn't understanding texture and how my hair wasn't going to be like Lauren Hills or some of the other young ladies that I see on YouTube with really coarse, thick hair. Um, my my hair has different textures, and in the back, it's the coarse. It's the coarse hair. It's just a different texture. Um, so a couple of weeks ago, as I was stating, I was thinking about cutting my hair, and I remembered those multiple sets of locks and how each time I regretted it, but yet I would keep doing it. There may have been one or two times where I didn't regret it. Actually, maybe one time where I didn't regret it, but for the most part, I regretted it. But I knew that I was trying to get up enough courage to get to the freeform. Um, yeah, I really wanted freeform, but at the time, I just didn't have the patience. Didn't have the education. And I wasn't where I needed to be spiritually or mentally. Um, so what I do on a day to day is I'm a clinician, a community based clinician, um, counselor, go into the people's homes and talk to them and help them with different mental challenges. And so I spend a lot of time listening to people talk about heavy stuff. And so the things that I used to do to transmute that energy was no longer working for me. So I had to find another way to transmute that energy, to cope, to release. And so my hair, whether people believe it or not, was absorbing that energy. And my hair is connected to my dome, my brain, or scalps. So I had to find a way to release that energy, and I did. And after I did my deep cleansing wash, I was like, what was I thinking? I was gonna cut my hair, blah 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 blah. Like, nah. Um, I sometimes it has to do with our own personal thoughts. Sometimes it has to do with absorbing not not so good energy, and sometimes it has to do with subconsciously picking up on how other people feel about our hair. And so, especially if you have a relationship with someone, or a close relationship, and I'm not just talking about romantic, just a close relationship, and being around people who secretly hate it. We can pick up on that, not even realize. And so there were a combination of things. that was making me feel like I just need to cut my hair off. And what happens too is that if I'm not, or if we are not addressing what's going on, um, it can show up or manifest in the form of those thoughts. Because the hair is an absorbent, as it absorbs. So if we're not releasing, if we're not cleansing and protecting our energy, it can show up in that way. So one other thing that took place is that I was in this store. I go into stores and there are usually it's men that compliment, it's not really, especially where I live, there's not a whole lot of women that vibe with my hair. But it's either men or young boys, like, 19, 20. Like, yo. So this one dude was like, yo, your hair. I love your hair. What are those wigs? I'm like, no, they're not wigs. And then there was another young guy. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get my hair like yours. And his hair was dope. He had wigs. I typically don't vibe with the wigs, or I would on a personal level, just because my hair texture would not. You would see all kinds of scalp, and I don't like to see scalp on my hair. But his hair was so thick you couldn't even see the scalp, and his locks were so thick that it kind of didn't look like wigs. But if you know wigs, you probably would know that they were wigs. But he was like, I want my hair like yours, to form like yours, it's natural. And he said, I'm getting ready to start doing that. I said, that's dope. Okay. Then there was a young guy who was, I don't know how old he was, but he looked like he's a teenager. Maybe like 17. And he had manicure locks, but they had red tips at the end. I personally that's not my thing. On a guy. But that's the thing that's in now. So, his were like really groomed, really neat. On a personal note, personal level, I don't like neat locks for myself. They look nice on other people. But yeah, so I'm realizing that where I live, there really are not a lot of women with locks. And if they have them, they are definitely sister locks or just manicured really neatly. And it's just amazing how people hate my hair. It's just amazing. And I don't give a flip what people hate or like or whatever. It's just an observation. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and talk about the fact that I really was thinking about cutting my hair and how I know I would have regretted that. I had in the past, when I first started, thought about starting over just because of this, as I've shared in other videos, because of this part. This is not what I was wanting. That's what formed. And so I've accepted that now. It's still, for me, this journey is about acceptance. And I know I've had people tell me, oh, you would look so cute if your hair was straight. You would be able to see your features more and all that. What? I don't understand. My face is still my face, whether my hair is straight or not. And to be honest, yes, for me, this is a spiritual thing. For me, it may not be for everyone else, but for me. But it's also a convenience thing, if I'm honest. Like what I do on a daily basis, I homeschool, I go to work full time, I in school full time. I have stuff and reports and things. It's just so much stuff that I have to do that I don't have time to sit and do my hair. Like that is not a priority for me. I take care of my hair and that it's washed, it's clean, it's just nurtured. But as far as like styling and going through the process of, straighten the hair and no, man, that's not me. It's not me. And I remember years ago, I had taken my locks out, straight permed it, okay, permed it, not just straighten it. And I was feeling so bad after I'd done that. Like, I was feeling horrible. And I'll go to work, and the first guy, one of my buddies, this white dude, was like, "What did you do to your hair?" I said, "I straightened it." He said, "Straighten it? That's not you. Why did you do that? That doesn't even look like you. It doesn't look right." And I was like, "Oh my God." I felt so bad because he was just confirming what I already felt. And then everyone kept coming up to me saying something about it. Um, and so no, I would not do that to myself again. That was torture for me. And it just lets me know that this is a part of, I don't want to say it's a part of who I am because it's physical on some level. Um, but it is, and on some level, it is. While I'm in this physical thing, this physical body, this is a part of me. Um, Not the true me, the soul me, but while I'm in this physical capsule, this body. Um, so yeah, just be mindful of when you're having those thoughts of wanting to cut your hair or take your hair out or whatever. That make sure that it's your idea. That it's not you being picking up on other people's stuff. Um, Even down to the manifestation of me listening to people's problems. It may not have been, oh, cut your hair, but it was just that icky energy that manifested in the sense of me cutting it off, which is the opposite of what I really want or would normally do. It's because I'm listening to so many people's stuff, and that energy can become too intense, too toxic. And for me to cut my hair, that would have been a toxic thing for me. Maybe not for others. Sometimes people do need to cut their hair and start over. Sometimes people do want to change and just don't want locks anymore. That's fine. But just be certain that is something that you are desiring and not being influenced by others or the time of year. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but it's something that I've noticed that people tend to start wanting to cut their hair or have a major shift or change with their hair. And I know every time I've cut my hair, every single time there was something that I was not facing or there was something that I was hurt about and I wanted to cut that energy off. And honestly, it was about me not facing myself and my decisions. And so whenever I get that urge, I'm checking myself like, all right, what is it that's really going on? Because you do not want to cut your hair. Um, and it was just amazing how I felt after I did my ritual, my deep cleanse of how I felt about my hair. Like, it was just like disappeared, those thoughts. So anyway, I know that I normally do not do these kind of videos where it's this long, but I hadn't been on in a minute and I wanted to come on. So the lighting in here is not the best, but I wish you could see the back of it. Ugh. I don't know if you can see the back of it or not, but anyway, all right. I'm still here, still got my locks. And I will try to do another video sooner. There was some other things, but I don't want to make this too long. It's already longer than what I would like it. So I'm going to end here. Peace. Thanks for watching and subscribing.